The Truman Show has raised a lot of questions about its symbolism and deeper meaning. Many viewers are stunned when they start noticing the biblical themes hidden behind the characters. But why stop there? Because there is another layer of symbolism, a deeper layer, buried beneath the surface. In this episode, I'm going to give you clear answer to the questions about the symbolism and reveal the true identities of the characters based on the symbolism from the Old Testament. So if you liked my video, push the like button and tell me what you think about my theories in the comments. And I really would like if you could subscribe to my channel. It would help me a lot. So without further ado, let's dive into the second episode of TheoryD. As most of us eventually realize, there is a clear symbolic relationship between Truman and Christoph. Truman represents Adam and Christoph represents God. This gives us a strong clue that the symbolism, whatever it ultimately means, is rooted in the Old Testament, most likely in the book of Genesis. So first, let's quickly revisit the story of the Garden of Eden. After the creation of Adam and Eve, God placed them inside the Garden of Eden and set two trees at its center, the tree of knowledge and the tree of eternal life. And God gave them one command: do not eat from the tree of knowledge, or you will surely die. But then comes the serpent who tempts Adam and Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. And for this act of disobedience, they were banished from the Garden of Eden. But there is another interpretation of this story, one that directly contrasts the traditional belief. In this version, the act of eating the fruit wasn't a sin or a mistake, but a rightful decision. This interpretation paints God not as a benevolent creator, but as the enemy of mankind, a jealous and controlling deity who didn't want Adam to reach his full potential. This specific interpretation brings an ally to our side, and that ally is none other than Lucifer, or the serpent. In this view, he is not the villain, but the one who stood against God and helped Adam and Eve gain knowledge and awareness. He becomes the one who wanted the humans to break free, to make their own choices and reach their full potential. As I said before, this interpretation tells us that Lucifer is an ally, because first he gives us the truth and the first knowledge about the reality, and secondly, he made us free. So if we want to look for this character in the movie, it must be someone who gave Truman the first knowledge about the outside world and the truth about the sea haven. Secondly, this person must encourage disobedience against the will of Christoph. And third, it must be someone who stands against Christoph's idea of sea haven. And when we try to adjust these three factors, there is no other character who fits them all except Lauren. First, in the scenes at the library and the beach, Lauren is the one who tells Truman about the outside world and exposes the illusion of sea haven. Secondly, when we see her room, it's filled with signs of protests, showing she's actively fighting against the Truman Show. And third, during her interview with Christoph, she directly challenges his authority and the system he created. All of this makes her a threat to the world of Sea Haven, which leads to her being removed or banished from what Christoph sees as his vision of paradise. In addition to all this, the film offers a unique perspective on Lauren, or more symbolically, on Lucifer. It suggests that his rebellion against God's will wasn't out of pride or evil, but because he fell in love with humanity. The exact opposite of how God treats Adam. That's a dangerous idea. I'm not saying the creators explicitly intended this message, but it's easy to interpret this story this way when you really pay attention. And I must say, all of this are just theories. I don't know the exact ultimate purpose of the mind behind this film. From this perspective, we can also understand the symbolism behind another character. So now I'm gonna tell you about the symbolism behind this character. This character is none other than Meryl. As we saw during the movie, Meryl replaces Lauren in Truman's life, encourages obedience by trying to keep him in Sea Haven, and clearly sides with Christoph, not Truman. Based on this, she can be seen as an archangel, most likely Michael. Together with Truman's mother, father, and best friend, these four form a group that resembles the four main archangels in traditional theology. And if we apply this to Lauren's symbolic role, the implications becomes clearer. If she hadn't been banished from Sea Haven, she would likely have become one of the Truman's closest companions, essentially an archangel herself. Just like the biblical mythology says about Lucifer, if he hadn't become a fallen angel, he would probably become one of the greatest angels in the God's court. Overall, the Truman Show serves as a representation and a reinterpretation of the banishment of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. Rather than portraying it as a punishment, the film suggests it was an escape. All the people within Sea Haven act as the angels of Eden, trying to prevent this escape. Lauren, however, is an angel who, unlike the others, disobeys orders and aids Adam on his quest for redemption. It's likely that this is the perspective intended by the creator of the movie, but I'm not certain about it. It's just a theory. I'm not suggesting that this film was produced by a bunch of Satan worshippers, but I say this theory can be adjusted to the movie based on the fact and based on the perspective that the movie gives us. So now, conclusion. I watched The Truman Show and added my theories, the second layer of symbolism, and here's what I found. God is portrayed as the enemy who imposes meaningless rules on us, stripping away our freedom. Secondly, Lucifer appears as a friend, the one who helps us escape and reveals the truth. And the angels, well, they're just deceivers who blindly obey God's will. These ideas echo the core beliefs of many cults and secret societies. I hope I'm wrong, but honestly, there doesn't seem to be another message when you watch the film closely. Ask yourself this. At the end, did you want Truman to stay in Sea Haven, or did you want him to leave? For me, I wanted him to leave because the film clearly sympathizes with Truman and with Lauren, not with God. And after all, this is my theory about The Truman Show. Well, I hope you liked the video. I hope that this theory resonates with your understanding about the movie. If you liked my video, I would really like if you could subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about my theory and any critics towards my understanding about the film, please share it with me in the comment section. And if you have any other ideas for me to create for the next video, please share it with me. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again on my next video. See you soon.